I'm James Gore. I am marrying the beautiful Danielle Travis in about 11 months. We met when we were in high school. She transferred from private school. It was her first time in public school, and she wanted to do track and field. And that was the first time we met, was on the track team. I was a discus thrower my senior year, and she was a sophomore. I'd say Danielle is somewhat of a paradox. I know that's kind of a cliche thing to say, but one thing I observe about her is a lot of times she looks to other places to figure out if she's doing something right, like to validate herself. But what she doesn't realize that her personality is so encapsulating that everyone else is looking at her to figure out what they should be doing, and she's worried about if she's doing something right, but they're just waiting on her to do it to figure out they're doing it right.
My favorite thing about James, and this is really hard to explain, but I'll try my best. To me, he is this balance. So he can be the life of the party and social and humorous and be friends with everyone, while at the same time be a listening ear and be, the quiet, calm, secure person I need him to be. And so he just perfectly displays this sense of balance of being outgoing and fun and spontaneous and party, while at the same time being smart and secure and, my home and my place to rest in. I kind of felt like I knew early on that he was the one. I specifically remember a conversation we were having in the car. We probably had been dating for only 3 or 4 months, and we were just driving, and we were talking about the kind of house we wanted. And it wasn't a weird conversation, or it wasn't something that I was like, why are we talking about this right now? It was just kind of a very natural, well, of course we should talk about what kind of house we want, because one day we'll have a house together.
So I had this awesome plan to propose. First of all, Danielle had given me like a whole list of parameters. I don't want to be proposed to when I'm undergrad, but I don't want to wait too long in grad school for you to propose and all this stuff. And we were very open about it, so we did discuss it. The one thing I do remember she said was she wanted to have all her friends there. And so a couple months passed. We're getting close to that tiny little window she made available for me, and she was planning a mountain weekend at her family's cabin, and she invited all her friends. And little did she know, she planned her engagement. So she put everything together. She invited all her friends. She made the perfect scenery, putting us on top of a mountain, and I got to propose to her over a cliff. It was beautiful.
I don't think our relationship when we first started dating, I don't think it started in a traditional way. So I didn't expect us to get proposed or engaged in a traditional way. I was not that surprised. He's pretty good at keeping secrets, but also I'm pretty intuitive, and I think I know James pretty well. And so, the proposal itself wasn't like, oh my gosh, but, it was perfect. It was the exact way that it should have gone for us. And the thoughts that were going through my head were, at first I was like, kind of when we first started dating, I was very skeptical. I was very like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if we should start dating. And I was like, I think I'm going to be nervous when I get engaged. I think I'm going to be skeptical when he proposes, just like I was when we started dating. But when he proposed, it was so natural and so common sense, like, well, of course. There was no skepticism like when we started dating. It was just a very natural, common sense kind of, yes, like, this is how it's meant to be. My favorite part of the process would have to be just like planning a party. I'm very social, just like James, and we love having people around, and I love planning parties. The organization of it all, thinking about the foods and the decorations and the color scheme and how many people we're going to get to see. So, I think planning it is really fun, and then kind of just thinking about the aftermath of it, like after the big party's over, that we will just get to come home to the same house. We still live apart, and we're going to live apart until we're married. So just kind of after the storm, kind of the quiet of it, just being able to not have to say goodbye to each other is something I'm really excited about.
It's super challenging trying to plan a wedding and having a career at the same time. Luckily, Danielle's grad school is online. It leaves her a little bit of wiggle room. She's busy a lot with her school, but she has time to deal with some of those things. And a lot of times I'm coming off of working for 14 hours straight, whether I'm doing a club meeting or track practice after school, and coming straight over to her house, sitting down and going through details and details. And she's done a ton of the work, and it's not because she's being selfish about it. It's simply, we're blessed to have the situation where she can help out a lot. I've tried to help out, and just time really clashes. It's very difficult, having a full-time job, and planning a wedding is very close to a full-time job.
The challenges of a wedding and grad school at the same time are I really am trying to make sure that I don't dedicate too much time to one over the other. I really want to make sure that I'm still focusing on school and, and I'm getting through my courses well, but I also, I want to plan the wedding.